Everyone please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, let's start with the introduction of commissioners and staff.
Okay, Jim DeMartini, County Member.
Amy Bublak, City Member.
Terry Withrow, County Member.
Javier Camarena, Assistant EO.
Sarah Lytle-Penny, Executive Officer.
Rob Terrell, LAFCO Council.
Jennifer Goss, Commission Clerk.
Very good. That's it. Let's move on to item 3. Oh, I'm sorry, public comment. Moving too fast there. Any public comment? Anyone like to say anything that's not on the agenda? 5 minutes.
Maybe you can give them a little extra time.
Yeah. We'll give you a little.
6 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, seeing no public comment, we'll bring it back to item 3, approval of minutes.
Move to approve.
Motion.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Very good. Correspondence.
There is no specific correspondence for you tonight.
Okay. Informational correspondence in the news, anything?
Just the in the news that you've got in your packet.
Okay, very good. Okay, item 5, any declaration of conflicts or disqualifications? Okay, very good. Consent items, our consent calendar. Anybody want to pull the consent item? Okay, motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. Public hearings, out-of-boundary service application, Tioga Avenue, Oakdale.
Good evening, Javier Camarena with LAFCO. I have a fairly brief presentation tonight. The item we'll be discussing is an out-of-boundary service application for water services for the city of Oakdale. The proposal is a request to extend water service outside the city of Oakdale's existing boundary to serve 38 parcels. The parcels are located along Tioga Avenue, just west of the city of Oakdale, east of Crane Road, and within the city's sphere of influence. Just to provide you a little background on the area, the area was originally served by 2 domestic wells as part of Improvement District Number 41, operated by the Oakdale Irrigation District. One well was removed due to coliform issues. Therefore, a 3rd well was drilled back in, I believe, 1990, sometime during the early 90s. The application didn't specify what year exactly, but sometime during the early 90s. The 3rd well was then removed in 2009 due to turbidity issues. So basically, there was sand in the pipes and in the storage tank. So that the 3rd well had to be decommissioned. The area has operated with 1 well since 2009, with multiple interruptions in water service due to boil water notices. Therefore, the water extension will provide remediation to this health and safety concern. Government Code Section 56133 describes 2 situations where the Commission may authorize service extensions outside of the city jurisdictional boundaries. The first is for proposals within a city sphere of influence in anticipation of a later change of organization. And the second situation is for health and safety reasons for proposals outside of the sphere of influence. LAFCO Commission Policy Number 15 deals specifically with out-of-boundary requests, and more specifically, Policy 15F describes that's more geared towards area-wide out-of-boundary service applications, which is the case in this project. Staff believes the request is consistent with Policy 15F because the request will serve the existing development out on Tioga Road. The project is located within the city's sphere of influence. The project will not negatively impact existing users, and because the extension will remediate health and safety concerns. Staff's recommendation can be found on page 4 of the staff report, which includes approval of the out-of-boundary service application, as outlined in resolution number 2018-10, which will allow the extension of water services to the existing area. Any additional service connections would require approval from LAFCO. That concludes my presentation, and staff is available for questions.
Very good. Thanks, Javier. Any questions for staff?
No, I mean, this seems okay, but, long-term, Oakdale should really annex this area. And it is an island. We do allow, out-of-service connections, which this one makes sense, but long-term, it should be annexed into the city.
Okay, very good. No other comments? Yeah, I'm just wondering why it took so long to get to do this. Sounds like it's been going on for a while with some bad water out there, huh? Telling people to boil their water for a while, it sounds like.
They've been looking at their options for a while, too. I think originally they were wanting to hopefully either fix one of the existing wells or drill a new well, and they were looking at cost benefit versus connecting to the city. So it's been a while.
Is there going to be a substantial increase to the people's 38 parcels by hooking into Oakdale?
The applicant's representative might want to speak to that, but there is a additional cost. I think Hobby's.
There is a cost to connect. Just give me a second. It's in the staff report.
Service connection fee, and then of course the additional monthly fee.
For example, just to each property would have to pay, and again, Mark from the representative could probably better attest to this, but there's a $2,438 connection fee just to connect to the city of Oakdale. Also, there was a fee that each parcel paid into in order to get the construction of the improvements completed first. So I'm not sure what that amount was. We can have Mark come up.
Yeah, Mark, maybe would you like to?
Certainly, Chairman Withrow, Commissioner Bublak, Commissioner DeMartini, good evening. Mark Niskanen, City Planner with the City of Oakdale. Before I address your question, certainly want to express our agreement with staff's determination that this request does comply with Commission Policy 15F. Also agree with their support of our recommendation. Now, in terms of the financials, I do want to make it clear that this is something we worked out as part of the agreement. Before that agreement was presented to the OID Board of Directors, the costs of paying the city's capital facilities fee for water and the cost for making those monthly rate payments were figured out and assessed to the residents in Improvement District 41. And I believe they did do is it a Prop 218 vote or similar type assessment vote? Bottom line is the property owners on Tioga Avenue within this district voted to assess themselves the costs for these improvements and paying the rates.
Perfect. Okay. Very good. That's good. All right. No other questions?
I take it that all the 38 parcels in here were actually operating on one well. So that's
a community
a lot of
well.
parcels for one well. No.
That's correct.
Okay.
No, they're probably cheaper to hook up to the city. Drilling a well is an expensive deal these days.
Okay.
I don't have any problem with this.
Very good. Do we need to open the public hearing for this? Okay, we will open the public hearing. Any comment from the public? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Bring it back to the commission for a vote.
I'll introduce it.
Okay, motion to approve staff recommendation.
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you. Okay, we will move on to item 7B, final LAFCO budget for the fiscal year 2018-19.
So this will be a little familiar. The proposed budget was approved last month at the commission hearing, and since that time, We reviewed an additional month's worth of actual figures, as well as went over some of the costs that we received from the county services. And we're recommending no adjustments to the budget as approved in its proposed form. The final budget that's up for review tonight is due by June 15th. The budget itself, as we discussed at our last meeting, includes increases for things like our biennial audit, software licenses, as well as staff benefit increases. And this was the chart. Again, it's the same figures that were presented last month, showing the increase in expenses. We also do anticipate an increase in application fees next year. And then at our last meeting, too, we talked about reducing our reliance on fund balance, which is something that we've been wanting to do actually for the last few years. And that's where our fund balance has been going lately. And we mentioned this, too, that reflects the refund that we did to the agencies, but it also reflects kind of our trend of attempting to not accumulate more fund balance than we need. And likewise, in response to that, agency contributions have also gone up, and they're closer to what the LAFCO operating budget is each year. This was something that Commissioner Hahn had actually asked about at the last meeting. He wanted to see what the allocations actually looked like for the individual agencies. And this is based on state law that provides for the county being allocated half of the LAFCO operating budget. And then the 9 cities are actually allocated based on their revenues. So that portion of the allocation fluctuates. But generally speaking, Modesto tends to have the next largest share, followed by Turlock, and then those remaining smaller cities, tend to range from less than 1% to 2.5%, 3% for allocation. And I put a chart too in the final budget report that kind of gives you an idea of what those numbers actually are too. So staff's recommendation tonight is to adopt the Resolution 2018-08 approving the final budget, directing staff to provide notice to the funding agencies for their final numbers, and requesting the county auditor to apportion and collect those net operating expenses. And staff's available for questions.
Very good. Any questions of staff?
This is pretty much unchanged from the last time.
Right.
Just increase.
Okay.
I think we should charge Turlock more.
Wow. Did I hear 53% for a county? I'll move to accept this.
I think I've got to open a public hearing.
I'm
here
sorry.
on this
Right.
one,
I apologize.
yeah. No other
Going
questions?
fast.
Other questions? We'll open public hearing. Is the door locked back there, maybe? Okay. Seeing no public here to make any comments, we will close the public hearing. Bring it back to the board for the commission for action.
Okay. You okay with the increase for Turlock?
Good. Yeah, I'm not okay with it, but we have to.
Okay, so we need a motion to
Okay, motion to approve budget, LAFCO budget.
I'll second it.
motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Commissioners' reports. Any comments? Commissioner comments?
I'd just like to find out when the Cal LAFCO meeting was. I didn't write the dates down. I don't know when it is.
We can send out a save the date for that. Their upcoming annual conference is in October, and I believe it's in the first week of October. October 3rd through 5th is what Jennifer's telling me, so she's probably right. But we can send out a reminder for that. They should be sending out registrations to us soon, too.
Yeah, I probably got something, but I couldn't find it. So, okay, that's all I needed.
Very good. Any additional matters? No additional matters at the discretion of the chairperson? None. Executive officers report.
Yes. So on the horizon for our meeting on June 27th, we will have the continued item from the Oakdale Rural Fire Protection District for the annexation of Division 1 North. The district is planning on hosting another outreach meeting next week, and I'll be there for that to answer any questions from the LAFCO side of it, particularly about the process and the protest hearing.
Where's that meeting going to be at, Sarah?
It'll be at the Valley Home Fire Station.
Okay. Are they working on trying to get flyers out or somehow get people to attend?
Yeah, I believe they've already sent flyers out. Danielle was asking me about it last week. So they were making sure that I could be there as well for it. But it's on the 30th at 6 p.m.
Okay, good.
And then we are recommending cancellation of the July 25th meeting. We were informed that the commission chambers are going to be receiving a audiovisual upgrade, so they'll be actually closed during most of July and August. So we've been working with any existing applicants right now. None are scheduled for the July meeting, so we feel that it's pretty comfortable for us to go ahead and cancel that meeting, and then we'll be back in August with more applications.
Okay, very good. That's it? Okay, so our next meeting is set for June 27th.
Yes.
Okay, seeing no other business, this meeting is adjourned.
Whew, that was tough.